Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a mid-year catch-up. Now, as you can see, I have a little gap right here, so I'm trying to cover it with my head, my ginormous head right now, so that the sun doesn't quite stream through, but it is blazing hot. So we are going to blaze through this video because I don't know if the sound of my fan is going to pick up here, but we're going to do our best to beat my AC before it kicks back on because it is very loud. So if not, I may have to redo this video with no AC. Either way, let's get to it. It is July 2025, and this video, like I said, is going to be a mid-year catch-up of all my goals that I had set out in January of 2025. So without further ado, let's get to it. Goal number 1 was finish a draft by July 1st, and that is a draft of my novel. We have not done that. My first draft is done, and I am currently drafting a novel for the second revision. I'm currently doing a second revision, but I had wanted to get a submittable draft by July 1. Today is July 13th. So we did not make that goal. However, I'm okay with this. After I finished the first draft, I needed some time with other projects, and I needed to kind of separate. And now that I'm back into the revisions, they're going well. I'm hoping to get a draft done by September 1st, and I may make that because I am zooming through these revisions. It's a lot of work, but because I set it aside for so long, I'm really, really feeling the the push to get this draft done. It's not something that I'm really procrastinating on, and that's good. That's good because the worst thing is when you're working on a project and then you kind of put it aside because you're bored with it or something. And I tend to get bored with things, which is why I usually have several things going at the same time. But this revision process has been going pretty smoothly, and I'm very happy with that. So the new goal is September 1. Goal number 2, rewrite 2 short stories. That goal was met. I finished not 2 stories, but actually 3, because I got a new idea in January and I wrote it, revised it. I actually wrote it, workshopped it with my writing friends, and then revised it. And it is submitted out into the world, as well as the other 2 stories that I finished this past few months also. In my previous vlog, my first vlog ever, I showed that I had finished 2 short stories and another short story that I had finished in April. I had already submitted out. It came back rejected. I got my first rejection of the year, and a couple days later, it went out with the other 2 stories that I had finished around Juneteenth. So that goal was met. Goal number 3, save the second half of the year for the new novella. Yeah, we're still working on the novel, so I haven't even touched my novella. Maybe I'll work on that come wintertime. But to be honest, this goal is falling further and further down the list. I would just much, much rather work on my novel than start something else. Um, while I like to have multiple irons in the fire, I also feel like I can't get distracted with another long project. You know, working on a short story and then submitting it out only takes a few days. But working on a novella, especially a novella that I haven't touched since January, something like that, the end of the year. No, it's even further back than that. It's sometime around October, I think. October of 2024. So either way, I'm not interested in starting that right now. But maybe after I get a version of my novel that I'm very happy with, and maybe I'm starting the query process with with agents, then I will be ready to work on a new project, kind of just to distract me and keep me writing, that kind of thing. So, goal number 4, read 24 books this year. I have also fallen well below that. We're in month 7, about halfway through. I should have like 13 books, and I just finished book number 7. In fact, I have it right here because I thought it was a great book, and that is The Other Valley by Scott Alexander Howard. And it was a great book. Really enjoyed it. I think this summer I'm going to spend most of my time writing. Um, reading, not writing. I'll spend it writing too. But I'm reading stories that are comps for my novel, and The Other Valley is definitely one of them. It's one of those genre bending, sort of magical realism type books. And so I found it at my local library and read it. He's also a debut. This was his debut book. So, yeah, I'm going to spend the summer reading some more of those. This is still more books than I read last year. I think last year I only read about 3 or 4 books. So, up to 7 now is really good. But I also think I may pick some shorter books just to like pump up the numbers. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Right now, I'm happy. I seem to be reading about a book every month. And with my return to office that happened starting in March, I'm having more time reading because when I go on my lunch break, I read. And so that's helping me kind of get my books in. But also I find myself on the weekends mostly reading. I'm not really writing a ton on the weekends. And I'm okay with that, but I also really do need to step up the writing, obviously, because I fell behind in revising my book. So it's a fine, delicate balance between reading and writing and balancing those two, because you really do need to read widely, I believe. And you also need to read in your genre what is getting published, what is getting acquired, what is getting the deals. And not that you have to copy them, but when people ask you, what's your book like, you can name 3 or 4 books that have been published in the last 2 years that are sort of kind of like your book. That's probably a good thing. So, 7 books so far. I should have 14, but I only have 7. And we're going to aim for 24 though. If I get more than 20, but I don't hit 24, I will not be mad at it. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Goal number 5. 2 blog posts/newsletters every month. So far, I have done 10 blogs and 9 newsletters. And the reason that they're off is because I posted one of my videos on my blog, but I did not post it on Substack. And Substack is where my newsletter is. I will put a link to my Substack as a pinned comment down below there. But because I posted that video on my blog, I have one extra blog post than newsletters. But all in all, it's not bad. I know in March, I think I totally dropped the ball. And I think it's because in March, I was writing the last part of my novel. And to be honest with you, it was a little stressful. I was going back into the office and getting used to a new schedule. I just fell short. But these things happen, and we're back on track. I didn't skip one in June, and I don't think I skipped one in May, but I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But yeah, we're just gonna keep chugging away. We're gonna keep putting out, the newsletters on the 1st and the 15th, just like these videos. Oftentimes they overlap in subjects, so we're gonna keep going. And just an FYI, I did turn on my paid Substack also. I have yet to put any short stories up. And that is because number one, working on the revisions, but also number two is I'm getting ready to release one of the stories that got published last year, which I have the rights back to, Siren Call. And I want to put it out at the end of this month. So I probably will put that out on Amazon and then also make it available as the first story on Substack. I have to do some work still to format it, but I think that that is probably what is going to be the first paid piece on Substack. Um, yeah, and then it's just a matter of me just sitting down and posting all of the other stories that are also available. And I hope to do that maybe once a month, maybe more, depending on my energy levels and how far I get in my revisions. But that's the plan, to just keep doing two posts, two newsletter posts, two Substacks every month, and then one paid posting. So, again, the link will be down below. And finally, my last goal was to do 2 YouTube videos a month. And I have done 12 videos so far this year. Um, Actually, I think it's probably 13 with the last one, the vlog. Um, and this will be number 14. So I have pretty much been able to stick to it. I think, though, that one of the months, again, I think it was March, I only did one video, but there have been a couple months where I did extra. Um, and I think, I want to say April was one of them, but it might have been May, where I did 3 videos. So it's kind of like I missed one in one month, but I made up for it with 3 on another month. So I'm not crazy about that. I would love to do more videos. To be honest with you, I got a lot going on. And as I said way back in January, the writing comes first. The writing comes first before content creation. I have to get my writing done. And maintaining this schedule has been challenging at times, but I think that I've gotten better at editing, I've gotten better at filming, and definitely gotten on a better schedule. So because of that, I think I'll be able to keep doing 2 videos a month. It's tough. It's tough to do that and do a 9 to 5 job and also get, the content in and do the writing. But, I signed up for this. Nobody's making me do it. And at the same time, it's like all 3 of these things I really want to do. Like, I enjoy doing this channel. I enjoy my day job and I enjoy writing. So it's not like I'm miserable at one of them. I'm not. But there's only so many hours in the day. And I think just the more I do it, the more habit I get into, the better I will get. And as for that bonus video or bonus goal, I should say, not a video, bonus goal, because I was thinking maybe I'd do a short story collection. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening this year. I know some people would say, oh man, because there's some people who have read my short stories and they always keep saying, oh, I'd love a print book. But that's just a lot more work than I'm really ready to do. And to be honest with you, I'd like to have like 15 stories in that collection. And right now, I only can think of maybe like at the most 10 that I would want to put in the collection. So I need to write more stories and I need to get better at sort of collating them into a potential collection, but that's probably not going to be, maybe it's a 2026 goal. We'll see how far I get with this novel and where it lands. But for now, it is off the table. Off the table. I got to take something off. And that was it. I had thought, oh, yeah, I'll be able to do that. But the way this year is going, I definitely need to slow down a little bit and get the things done. I'm glad I finished those 2. Um, I'm glad I finished those 3, not 2, short stories, and they are out the door. I'm glad that I kind of have a good schedule going with the videos and the blog posts / newsletters. And now we're starting revisions. So it's halfway through the year, and some goals I've hit, some goals fell short, but I'm still chugging along, like the reading goal. And some goals just need to be off the table. I Now that I'm recounting it, I think that that novella might really take a back seat, which is sad. I really like that story. I will get to it one day, but right now I have to just focus and dial in and complete this novel. I really do. Um, it's work, but it's work I want to do. And unfortunately, I still have to go to a 9 to 5 job. I like my 9 to 5 job, but it really gets in the way of my writing. So I kind of like things like food and shelter, places. I kind of like having a roof above my head. So unfortunately, that takes up a lot of time also. But we're going to keep going. Everybody else is doing it. I'm nobody special when it comes to balancing a schedule and balancing your time. We're all trying to figure out how to do this, especially all of us writers. And um, I only know a couple of people who managed to get it all in, but even they sometimes struggle. So this is nothing new. This is the common complaint of many of us. And all we can do is just push forward. So that's my mid-year update. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to hear any more about the writing life, publishing, writing, my thoughts on that, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye.